Hi there, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, which is, I hope, the case, or thanks for being on my Instagram feed if you're watching this on Instagram. I'm on vacation and living my best life, and it really makes me wish I were retired, because even though I do like my job, I really like not going to my job, and being like near the ocean where I am right now. I'm in Sea Ranch, which is it's on the coast of California, because it's by the ocean, and it's like Sonoma, end of Sonoma County, northern end of Sonoma County, and just before Mendocino County, and I guess northern end, yeah, northern end, yeah. Anyway, what do I want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about Top Chef because I was so excited that Top Chef was back. Well, first, I watch Top Chef on Peacock because I don't have like a cable or anything like that. Although I do, I've mentioned before, have like, all the streaming services, I think. And I don't have Paramount Plus anymore because that kept not working on my TV, on my Fire TV for some reason. It wouldn't load. So otherwise I'd probably still be paying for that. But I literally have everything else, I think, including, I think I'm still paying for the one that has Drag Race on it because I do love Drag Race. Although I watch it with my kid, and my kid never seems to be in the mood to watch Drag Race. So I think I'm paying for that one for no reason. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, it has all the international drag races on there, and at some point we're going to watch them. And this isn't about how irresponsible I am with so much shit. But the point I'm trying to make is that even though I don't have cable, I still pay a lot of money for television, like way too much money for television. But anyway, it'd be cool, like, if this was my job, that I like got paid to watch TV and talk about TV, because then it would make sense that like I paid a lot to watch to watch TV, but I don't. So anyway, I'm still gonna talk about it, and I love talking about it, and I love telling you guys about stuff like Top Chef. So big change, after 20 seasons. Well, Padma wasn't on the first season. The first season was Katie Lee, and I think that Padma was on from season 2. I'll double check that. But Katie Lee, who was it? Maybe Katie Lee Joel at the time, like married to Billy Joel, I think, who's now just Katie Lee. And now she's not just Katie Lee, she's married again, and I think has a kid and stuff, and I can't remember what her name is now. But anyway, Padma's been on, I think, since season 2, so that's a really long run. And Padma, for me, Top Chef and Padma, like, that's like picturing them without each other is weird. Like, I never thought that would be a thing, but good for her for wanting to move on and stuff. But luckily, they have replaced her with Kristen Kish, and I love Kristen Kish. I will put up here what season she was on, because she was on her season. Now I have to think, was she on her season and All-Star season, or is it just that she was on her season and won her season? Like, I feel like I've seen so much of her, but then also she had the show Fast Foodies, which I love. I don't even know. I don't know if they're still doing it or not. Probably, I wonder, I don't know, maybe they are, but that's on like a random channel like True TV or something like that. And it was her, Justin Sutherland, and oh my God, the guy whose name I can never remember, who was also from Top Chef. That show's like so much fun. If you can find that show, that's a great fun show. Anyway, first episode, which is always, a little overwhelming because we're meeting all these people for the first time and trying to like figure out what their deal is and figure out if there's anybody that like, we're going to love right off the bat, or, or not. So, definitely, I think Kristen did a great job. Like, she's been a judge on Top Chef like multiple times, so that part is nothing new to her, and she seems completely natural and at ease. And I mean, she's not Padma, because only Padma is Padma, but she doesn't need to be Padma. She just needs to be Kristen, and I'm thrilled that we have her because, again, I love her. But of course I miss Padma, because if you've watched the show, if you watched all the seasons of the show like I have, and I didn't start at the very beginning. I think I've talked about Top Chef before. I think I came in on the Las Vegas season, which is like with the Voltaggios and, uh, oh God, I want to say Mike Sabella was on that, and Jen Carroll. But I think that's the season where I started and then wound up going back and watching all of them. So anyway, I thought she did a great job. I think that we've got a good cast of characters so far. The first guy to go home was from the Bay Area, which is a bummer because, that's, home to my Bay Area is my place. But, totally deserved to go home. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody's standing out for me yet. I mean, I really love that there's a guy on there named Valentine and that he's like half Italian. Love me some biracials because I am. Half Italian and half Jamaican. And also I love, oh my God, and he was in the bottom three too, and I'm blanking on his name, but he's like half Vietnamese, I think. And I think he's adorable. And so I hope, he, I think, wouldn't have made it to the bottom three, but he had to roast a chicken because the challenge, I mean, if you're watching this and I'm talking about this, then you know what the challenge was. They divided up into three teams, and one team had to do what Tom Colicchio wanted them to do, which was roast a chicken. And for the people who drew knives and got Kristen, the people who got her, they had to do soup, and then the people who drew Gail had to do pasta. An interesting challenge in a way because, I don't know, I wonder if you guys I'd love to hear what you guys think, who watch this show and who have been watching the show, what you think about the fairness of something like that. Like, is there equal difficulty in having to make your own pasta, versus like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're, because like with soup, like Kristen said, like I'm not a cook. Like I heat things up basically. I do like to cook and I wish that I cooked more, but like I am not a cook by any stretch of the imagination. But I do know that to make soup taste good, and I'm not a big soup person either, you have to like really build up that flavor. So that's where your expertise and the technique is going to come in with that. But like with pasta, like that's a whole like technical thing. And the girl who won, like I love her already. It's like a barbecue lady, I think she said, and that she was like, doesn't remember the last time she had to make pasta or something. So I don't know. I thought that was just kind of interesting that they're all having to do, I don't know. I mean, I suppose it was fair because each of those things has its own, technical has its own difficulties that can come with it, so that it's a level playing field, I suppose. But anyway, rambling as usual. But I'll have to go through and look at the people who are on and see if I can think of who has stood out for me so far as favorites or whatever. But, it's my favorite show, so I would be watching it even if everybody on there was a complete bore. I wouldn't skip the season because it's my jam. And I've been meaning to do another episode and talk about Tournament of Champions, which is on Food Network, and we're already like, Tournament of Champions starts out with like 32 people or something, right? I think. And then and it's like a tournament style show where, and people are seeded coming into it. And, like there's the 8th seed and there's the 1st seed. And those two compete against each other. Then whoever wins goes on, like a basket, like sports balls when they have like tournaments, like basketball or whatever. And the reason that I'm talking about this on the tail end of Top Chef is because when I talked about this last year or the year before, the point that I made is that TOC is almost like a Top Chef All-Star show because there are so many Top Chef alumni on the show. So like I literally, I was counting like the first night that it started, like how many there were. And it was more than half. So it's so fun to see people like Casey for example, who we hadn't, I don't think she's done any like competition show or anything for years. It was fun to see her. And they did even a preliminary, where there were some Top Chef people on there who didn't wind up making it, but like tons of Top Chef people were on this show. And I think it's a fun show. And the premise is that they come in there and there's a randomizer that's going to tell them the protein, the vegetable, the style of cooking, like decadent or Sunday brunch or something like that. And then they have a wild card, which is some random ingredient they have to use. And then there's a piece of equipment. And then sometimes they'll get a thing that says they have to respin it or something like that. But I find it so fun, and I love seeing all of the Top Chef people on there. Yeah, I'll try to throw up like some names, but like, you know, I'm like Eric Ajapong was just on the episode that I watched tonight. Joe Sasto's been on there. Del Talde was on, I think, this episode. Spoiler alert, I guess, because sorry, if you do, you'll know that they made it to this week. So I really wish that I had talked about it, because we're already in whatever episode we're on, and I'll put that up there. But if you have HBO Max and you love Top Chef and you don't have anything else to watch, I would say, even if you think you hate Guy Fieri or something, like, or if you think like, well, he's not like a real chef, because you're like, if you like real chefs and real foodie stuff, you know, those, I mean, that's the kind of people that you have on Top Chef. But so many crossovers over to Food Network between like, oh, like for example, Bobby Threats, so stroked. Bobby Flay has a show, and it's called Triple Threat. They've only done one season. That's also on Max, and it had Tiffany Derry, Michael Voltaggio, and Brooke Williamson. So like just all three, and they all three compete. There's like 3 rounds, then they bring in somebody to compete against them, basically, and that show's great. I love that show. So yeah, like Food Network in a way is where a lot of Top Chef people come to roost, and I ain't mad about it, because I love seeing my Top Chef people, you know, continue on. So anyway, that's it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, I thought it was very fair who won on Top Chef, and I thought it was very fair who lost. And I'll try to look and see if I can think of any favorites. Let me know what you guys think if you're watching. And that's it. Thanks for being here, as usual. If you're on the YouTube and you want to like it and you want to subscribe, it made me so happy. You know, you don't have to, but if you did, it'd make me really happy. Anyway, thanks for being here, and I'll be back again rambling about something that's not at all important again. Okay, thanks. Bye.